Well, I debated whether I should make this video or not. I've been making various videos, that are different from one another. And I've been told in the past, in fact, I saw a video with somebody explaining how that if you don't stick to your format, maybe it becomes too erratic for people. And, you have people subscribing, unsubscribing. You get fluctuations and this sort of thing. So, I don't know. But I'm going to make this particular video. And this particular video is about why I stopped doing cover songs. And sort of leading into what I think about copyright laws. Because basically what happened with me is I used to do a lot of covers. And I think I was pretty good at doing covers. Now I can hardly remember how to play anybody else's songs. And in some cases including my own. Generally what I do now is I'll create a song from scratch, doing various parts often if I'm going to do just audio, different tracks, putting them together. Sometimes using notation and doing it with synth instruments, like electronic synth music. Other times just with guitar and keyboards, harmonica, what have you. Although I consider myself mainly a guitar player more than anything else. And of course to me, the guitar is, it's a beautiful instrument. And I don't find keyboards or piano or anything else really to be quite on a par with the guitar. I don't find anything else to be a beautiful instrument like a guitar. To me, in my opinion. But putting that aside, what happened to me is, something happened, which I'm not going to go into specifics of, and I don't think I should. But something happened that made me more aware of copyright and how that whole thing works on the internet and what technically, maybe not always in practice, but technically really is entailed when it comes to doing other people's songs. And really in theory, generally a person is breaking, is making a copyright violation when they do another person's song and put it on YouTube, in general terms. Although I know it's done all the time, and maybe 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10, it isn't a big deal, and everyone looks the other way, and the performer themselves, the performer that created the song, doesn't really care too much if you did it. But I decided that I didn't want to deal with that kind of thing at all. I didn't want the hassle. I didn't want to even have to worry about if I was going to get a strike on my account because of copyright. I didn't want to think about it at all. So what I decided to do is create my own songs. And that's why I started putting them in other places too, because I wasn't always creating them in video form, and it was like an extra step for me to make a video. So I have a lot more songs that are up on YouTube. In fact, most of them aren't on YouTube. They're in other places. Regardless, that's the reason that I began doing my own songs, and my own songs almost exclusively. Now, I can hardly remember how to play any of the covers, maybe a few of them. And I used to be relatively good at playing covers, I think. Other people used to think so. And I can hardly now remember to play any of the covers, maybe a few that I used to play. Only a short few years ago. In fact, really I have a hard time playing my own songs, because what I do is I create a song, I put it up, and I move on to the next one. I do the several parts often. I put some time into it. Really not too much time. Most of the time is spent on sort of production things, post-production things. And I put it up or make it part of a collection of songs or whatever, and put it up online, and move on to the next thing that I'm doing. So this leads into what I really think about copyright. I think copyright is extremely restrictive, especially in the United States, probably in the Western world, maybe in the world, I don't know. Definitely in the United States. I don't understand why it's so. I do understand why it's so restrictive, and it has to do with the corporate sort of zeitgeist of our time, of our society now. It has to do with sort of the corporate takeover of everything. That's why. But when, this is what happens when you make corporations virtually people. But not only that, even within human flesh and being people, I don't understand why a copyright should go beyond, certainly not beyond their lifetime. But even within their lifetime, there should be a certain amount of time that they can make a lot of money exclusively to themselves and no one else being allowed to use their creation. And then it should be more free. I mean, and one should also remember that even public domain works, you can still make money off of those. In fact, bookstores, for instance, do. They publish things that are in the public domain and then sell them again. Go into a bookstore, you'll see lots of titles from 100 years ago or more, that, well, maybe 100 years ago, that are in the public domain. That they're reselling things from the 19th century, maybe things from the early 20th century at this point, that they're reselling. And making a ton of money doing so. So I hope this wasn't too long-winded, and I hope it isn't too much of a problem that I sort of bounce around on my format. I don't want to have people, I feel like people that subscribed, I'm flattered, and I feel like, geez, that's nice of you, and quite friendly that you would do that for me. And if anyone has any comments, please leave them. I know my videos don't get a lot of views, but if anyone views them, you're welcome to comment. I won't be offended. I know I made a video that I put up on my channel, which said I would be changing the format of my channel altogether, and I haven't been able to do that because I have been continuing on with music. Let me add just one more thing. I now have been playing in a sort of a different style, and especially for YouTube, for my YouTube channel. And I've decided that I would like to play as though maybe I was a 100-year-old blues man, because that's what I feel like these days. and ignore the past 60, 70 years of music history as though it never happened, and create my own music sort of in the vein of traditional blues, as though I was playing that type of music and had never known of some of these bands that I indeed like these days. In some ways, they have changed things so much, though, in taking it too far away from music. All right, I'll stop there. That's quite enough. Thank you.